There is no topic we love discussing more than ourselves. The self-discovery industry has never had more pull than it does in the contemporary West. In the immortalized words of the country singer Toby Keith, I want to talk about me. I want to talk about number one, oh my, me, my. What I think, what I like, what I know, what I want, what I see. Now we laugh at that because it's true. And we laugh at that because it reveals our narcissism. Now, we Christians, we might be tempted to push back on all the obsession of self-discovery and reject it as narcissistic and ungodly. But John Calvin, the 16th century French reformer, would disagree with this wholesale assessment. In the first chapter of Calvin's Institutes on the Christian Religion, the Reformed theologian makes a point about self-understanding and our relationship that might surprise you. He says this: without knowledge of self, there is no knowledge of God. Our wisdom, insofar as it ought to be deemed true and solid wisdom, consists almost entirely of two parts: the knowledge of God and of ourselves. But as these are connected by many ties, it is not easy to determine which of the two precedes and gives birth to the other. So Calvin suggests that we ought to pursue self-discovery because we cannot know God without knowing ourselves. On this point, Calvin is in agreement with Socrates, who said that the first step to true wisdom is to know thyself. From a Christian perspective, it's not surprising that our knowledge of God is tethered to ourselves. After all, we were made in His image. It's for this reason that Angel and I wrote our book, Trading Faces, removing the masks that hide our God-given identity. We believe that the culture gets self-discovery wrong. We have believed the lie that we can craft our own identity, or that our identity is understood by the roles we serve in our attributes. Much of evangelical teaching on identity conflates the wealth of teaching into one category, being a child of God. While our identity as children of God is necessary and beautiful, it's the tip of the iceberg in what Scripture teaches us about our identity. God has given us many identities. The New Testament in particular is loaded with them, and they all point not only to who we are, but to who He is. To understand who we are is to better understand who God is and to live the abundant life He has intended for us. To navigate a world that attacks our identities from every angle, we need a robust and multifaceted theology of identity that can stand up to the assaults on our identity. We need to be able to speak God's hopeful truth over ourselves when the twisted voice of shame fills our head. We need to be able to speak God's corrective truth when the enticing voice of desire lures us. We need to be able to speak God's corporate truths when our fleshly, individualistic impulses beguile us. So where do you start? Let me recommend this. A great place to start is by going over to our website, thebeehive.live, and taking a quiz on which false identities might have the strongest tug on your heart. I hope as you dive into your identities, your heart is drawn closer to who God is.